Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to make these really cute macrame coasters for your coffee. It is simple, it is easy, and we will be using a 3mm 3-ply macrame cord from Nook Theory. You will need some scissors and a comb to brush out your fringe, as well as a dowel. I am using a 3/8 inch dowel, and this is just what you'll be working off of. Let's get started. I'm also going to be working on a clothing rack with S-hooks. If you don't have a clothing rack, that's okay. You can tape your dowel down to the table. Just tape the edges down and leave the center. To get started, you will cut 12 cords at 53 inches. I am using a 3mm 3-ply from Nook Theory in the color Eucalyptus. You will also need 2 cords cut at 14 inches. To start, you are going to fold your cords in half and attach all 12 of them to your dowel using a Larks head knot. If you are not sure how to do the Larks head knot, it is so simple. You are going to just fold your cords in half, take the loop over your dowel, grab the cords, pull through, and tighten. And that is your Larks head knot. Go ahead and attach all 12 cords and we will be back. This is what it should look like when you have attached all 12 cords to your dowel, and go ahead and make sure that they are tight and evenly spaced. Next, you're going to grab one of your cords you cut at 14 inches and you are going to tie 24 horizontal double half hitches all the way across right up against your Larks head knot. You do want to leave a couple inches tail on each side. And it's a little longer so that way you can mess around with it, just like that. If you are working on a table or even on this, it is easiest to just take a piece of tape and go ahead and just tape it to your surface so that way it is easier to make your horizontal double half hitches. So start with the furthest cord to the left. And go all the way across. And if you are not familiar with the double half hitch or the Larks head, as well as the square knot that we will be using, I do have tutorials for all of those knots on my YouTube as well. And that is your 24 horizontal double half hitches. Next, you are going to make 6 square knots all the way across. So start with your 4 on the left side and tie a square knot. And continue all the way across on your first row. And that is your first row. For your second row, you are going to make 5 alternating square knots. So grab 2 cords from this section, 2 cords from that section, and tie a square knot. And then you are going to continue this exact same pattern for a total of 13 rows. So continue the alternating square knots. And you do want them right up against each other the entire time. And that is another 6 square knots. So this would be your third row. You have 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do that for 13 rows. So once you have 13 rows, we will come back. This is how it should look after you have made 13 rows of alternating square knots. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. Then you're going to take that last cord that you cut at 14 inches and you're going to repeat the same thing. You're going to do 24 double half hitches at the bottom of your last square knot row. You do want to be careful that you do not miss any because they do go behind each other. You might have to tighten, just kind of push them together so that way they're not so bumpy. It will make it easier, a straight line. And once you have finished your last double half hitch, I just kind of like to squeeze it in and tighten it. And this is what it should look like. And for your next step, what you're going to do is you're just going to take your dowel and slide it all the way off, just like this, and unravel the little lark's head knots. Once you have done that, you can then take your scissors and you're going to trim it up. Go ahead and cut in each one of these loops, just like that. Now, as far as these, you're gonna wanna keep them long, keep them about the same length as your fringe. So I'm just gonna trim it up right now to about the same length. And then same thing for the other side. Go ahead and trim up where you want it done. Once you've done that, go ahead and take a comb or a brush and just brush out the fringe. And there's one side, go ahead and brush out the other. It is much easier if you start brushing at the very end and work your way up, just as you were brushing your hair. Then from here, you can go ahead and trim it up as far as you want. You can keep it this length. This is all up to you. I'm just gonna trim it up slightly. Leave about an inch or so at the end. And then the same thing on this side. Brush it out, make sure all the ends are even. And here is your macrame coaster. It is so pretty. You can now enjoy with a cup of coffee, or one thing I also love to use my macrame coasters is for plant coaster. So go ahead and add a little plant to it, and it just turns out so pretty. And there it is as a little plant coaster. Swap it out and add your coffee. And I hope you loved this tutorial. Thank you for watching.